Hello again, everyone, and welcome to American Idioms Part 52. This is the 52nd video in my American Idioms series, and like the others, I'll present 5 idioms to you numbered 256 to 260. But first, I'll give you the chance to guess their meanings. Then I'll explain the answers and provide you with an additional example for each idiom. I also recommend that you pause the video at each question to give yourself some extra time to think of the answers. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Number 256, a clean slate. And the example is, I had a lot of trouble with my next door neighbor when I first moved into my house. But thankfully, we were able to work out our problems and agreed to start our new relationship with a clean slate. Can you guess the meaning? Did you guess A, to make a new start by clearing the record of prior mistakes? And that's what it means to start with a clean slate. It's almost like you're cleaning a blackboard or the board, all right? You're getting rid of all of the old stuff and making everything clean, all right? And that's really what this means. And that's what they're talking about in this example. They're talking about how their relationship, this person's relationship with their neighbor, was bad at first and they had a lot of problems. But then they agreed to start over again and forget about the past, right? To clean the slate. To begin with no problems. Got it? Here's another example. I really appreciate how my teacher gave me a clean slate for my overall grade for my math class after I failed the first test in it. All right, so this is talking about how this person's teacher gave them a clean slate or didn't hold their first failure in class on their, let's say, their record for the grade of the class. Okay? When the teacher probably said, all right, forget about that first test. Let's just start brand new with nothing. I'm not going to hold anything against you. Your slate will be clean. All right? That's how it's used. Got it? All right. Now for number 257, a cakewalk. And the example is, filling the managerial position at work won't be a cakewalk because our last manager had extensive experience with the company. Can you guess the meaning? The answer here is C, a task that is easily accomplished, or to do something that would be, let's say, very easy. Okay? So in our example, they're talking about how filling this position would not be easy. Okay, it would not be a cakewalk. All right, because the old person in the position, the manager, had a lot of experience with the company. Right, so it would be hard to fill this position. So it would not be a task easily accomplished. Got it? All right. Here's another example. She has been training for the next marathon race for the last year. So the 5K race next week will be a cakewalk for her. Okay, now we're talking about something that's easily accomplished, right? Because this person here was training very hard for a marathon, which is a very long race. So this 5K race, which is actually very short compared to the marathon, would be very easy for her to do. Okay, it would be a cakewalk for her. Got it? Okay. Now for number 258, draw a blank. And the example is, I studied for that biology test for over a month, but I drew a blank when I got to the section on anatomy. Can you guess the meaning? Did you guess C, to be unable to remember something? If you did, you are correct. And that's what it means if you draw a blank. Okay? In our example, the person's talking about how they had studied very, very hard for their biology test. Then when they got to the section on anatomy, they couldn't remember a lot of things. They drew a blank. Okay? That's what it means. Think about a blank as being something that's empty. Okay? That's where it kind of comes from. All right? So if you draw a blank, you forget something. Got it? All right. Here's another example. My daughter did really well in the last spelling bee at her school, but she was disqualified when she drew a blank and misspelled the word eulogy. All right, I probably would misspell it too, okay? But to draw a blank, again, the girl in this case forgot the spelling of eulogy, okay? She drew a blank when they asked her how to spell it, okay? But that's what it means. All right. Now for number 259, to go back to the drawing board. And the example is, our town board failed to agree on a budget last night, so they'll have to go back to the drawing board tonight. Can you guess the meaning? Did you guess B, to start something again after failing the first time? If you did, you are correct, and that's what it means to go back to the drawing board. In our example here, they're talking about a town board, which is just an assembly of people that are, let's say that they're on the board, we say. Okay? They didn't agree to a budget or didn't agree on a budget. So they had to go back to the start after they failed to do it the first time. They had to go back and start all over again. And that's what it means to go back to the drawing board. Think about the creative process where you're starting out from the beginning and it's kind of like empty. Almost like a clean slate. All right? But this we're talking about here is the drawing board, the creative process, or the beginning of doing something or trying to achieve a goal. Here's another example. The new car design looked promising when the engineers first created it, but after testing it, they encountered many problems with it, so now they will have to go back to the drawing board and try something else. Okay, similar here, there was a failure, this new car design, even though it looked good, right, according to the example. So it didn't work out when they tested it. There was a lot of problems, so now they have to go back to the beginning and start all over again, okay? Go back to the drawing board. Got it? That's what it means. All right, and now for our final idiom, number 260, laughing all the way to the bank. And the example is, I know it doesn't look good right now, but we'll be laughing all the way to the bank if our new project works out. Can you guess the meaning? Did you guess B, to be very successful? Usually financially? Well, if you did, you are correct. And that's what they're talking about in our example. How this project that they have, they were unsure maybe in the beginning, but they're saying that, well, if it does work out, if it's successful, we're going to be laughing all the way to the bank, meaning that it's probably going to be very profitable. Okay? That's one way to look at it. All right? Again, it's not always financially successful. It could just be successful. Something could be successful. But in this case, it's probably successful, right? Financially. Here's another example. The critics thought that the movie would be a disaster at the box office, but it turned out to be a big hit. And now the movie studio is laughing all the way to the bank. All right, in this case, we are talking about something that's successful and financially successful, okay? About the movie. The studio is probably going to make a lot of money here because their movie was a hit, a big hit, okay? So they will be laughing all the way to the bank because they're going to make a lot of money. Got it? All right. That's all for this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and please like and share this video to support the channel. And remember what I always say, keep practicing. You'll be laughing all the way to the bank. See you next time.